Alright, so I'm gonna be attempting to show how to repair a fan on this Lenovo Legion Y545. So I did a disassembly video earlier, so if you're looking for that, just check for my older video. If you can't find it, let me know, and I'll see if I can put a link in the description, but hopefully it should be easy to find. Just search Lenovo Legion Y545 It's Binh or something, and you should be able to find that. Alright, anyways, I did already disassemble everything on it. We're gonna see, I took out one screw that was here and then one screw here, and that does allow me to barely lift this up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take the fan out without completely disassembling this. I hope I will be able to, because I do not want to have to redo all the thermal paste here. So what I'm gonna do to hopefully make it easier is I'm gonna remove this board as well. So there's two screws here. Again, you want to keep all the screws in order. That's very important because they can be different size, shapes, and lengths, and that can cause damage if you put the wrong screws back in the wrong place. Okay, keep that in mind. Alright, so I removed those two screws. Looks like, yes, we can lift this up. I'm going to flip this little latch here, and then we're going to disconnect this cable here. Alright, and hopefully that will give me enough room that I can move the fan around. It looks like there's not really much room either way. Alright, so to remove the fan, there's these there's multiple of these, of these little plastic tabs here. Let me zoom in to make this easier to see. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a razor blade and we're going to just cut these little plastic tabs off. Okay, so just like this. So we want to cut these plastic tabs off so that way we can actually pull the fan through. It looks like I didn't cut it all the way, so I'm going to have to go ahead and cut this some more. Alright, you don't really have to worry about scraping up this metal piece too much, so you can actually angle the razor blade slightly downwards, okay? And then that makes it easier to cut. So we're going to cut all of these off. Be careful for all these cables, you don't want to cut those. Let me rotate this, make it a little bit easier for me to work on. Okay. Again, you want to be careful for all those cables, you don't want to cut those. We're just cutting off these little plastic tabs here. Okay. Alright, we got another one here and here. I'm going to try and keep it in camera. Okay. If you want, you can actually disconnect the battery and then press and hold the power button to drain it, just to be extra safe. But this shouldn't be too risky of a repair, so I'm just going to leave it. Alright, let's see. Okay, that's cut, and then we're going to cut this last one here. Okay, I hope I'm going to be able to lift this up because I do not want to have to redo all that thermal paste at all. Okay, it looks like I'm cutting the plastic of the other piece as well, so there we go. Okay, I think those are all the little plastic tabs. There's this little circle one here. I don't know about that. But anyways, let's see here. So I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. So now as you can see, when I lift this up, these plastic tabs are going away from the fan. The only thing is I don't know how I'm going to lift it up from these back ones. I'll try. Okay, it looks like that one works. The only last one is this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to lift that up without taking the whole fan out. So that might suck. Let's see here. Is it going to be possible? Can I get a little thin pry tool in there maybe? And then lift that up. Okay, so I'm getting my pry tool in here. And I'm using that to lift this. So here you can see my pry tool went all the way under, so it's lifting beyond this piece. So hopefully I can lift all of these up and then I can slide the fan out. Okay, so I'm going to try and lift the metal so that all these little tabs are above. Okay, and then there we go. So here you can see the fan did slide out slightly. So these tabs are no longer engaged. Oh, this one's still engaged a little bit. I'm going to use that to get underneath, and then hopefully I can use that to slide this fan out. Let's see. I might have to lift this fan up over this cable, but I don't think that's going to happen because there's this metal thing blocking it. They designed this in a way that it looks like you're going to have to take it completely out. Let's see if it's going to be possible or not. I don't think it's going to be possible. So I'm getting my pry tool underneath here, and I can lift it over this cable slightly, so it is possible, but this one tab keeps getting re-engaged here, so I need to make sure to keep that out of the way. Let's see here, can I do this? Okay, it looks like that circle tab is actually engaged. So I put my pry tool so both those tabs are disengaged. And hopefully we can now pull this out, but it looks like this cable is really in the way. So, maybe if I peel that cable up all the way. Let's see here. I'm gonna remove the hard drive here. So let's actually disconnect the battery and everything. I was hoping I wouldn't have to take everything out, but looks like I'm going to have to. All right, so let's take the battery out here. This battery screw out here. This battery screw out here. And this battery screw up here. Okay, so we got the 4 battery screws. Hopefully that's all of them. Let's try and lift it up from the foot here. Okay, it is coming up. And again, to remove this connector, what I like to do is try and put pressure underneath with one of my fingers here. I don't know if you can see, there's a finger under there. And then from the top, I put another finger and I just wiggle this connector and pull it back, and there we go. So we got that battery out. And anytime I disconnect the battery, what I like to do is press and hold the power button to drain any power that's left on the board. So the power button is in the center here, so I'm going to hold that about 10 to 15 seconds, and that will drain any power from the board to reduce the risk of damaging it. All right, you want to be careful when opening the screen like this, because now that the cover and everything is out, there's less screws holding on to these hinges to hold them down strong. It looks like if I did take these screws out, I can probably pull this black plastic thing off, which might make it easier, but this one screw here is like permanently stuck, so I don't know. I'm gonna just leave that, and we're gonna try and do it the way I was planning to originally. So I'm gonna stick this pry tool in here again, and then I'm gonna try and move all those little things back in place. Okay, so the fan easily goes back into place. I'm going to try and peel up this. So let's get the hard drive out as well. Okay, 4 screws holding the hard drive in place. If you want, you can upgrade this to a 2.5-inch SATA SSD. All right. So I guess I should make like a part 1 and part 2 of this video, because this is essentially like a, I don't know, a middle part. Though I didn't really mention on the first one that it was a 2-parter, so it might be confusing. Anyways, get those 4 screws out. We should be able to lift the hard drive up. All right, yep, it lifts up. We're gonna unlatch this. All right, flip that latch up. Then get the cable, and let's pull this out. So we got the whole hard drive out. If you want to upgrade it, you want to transfer over this metal bracket, of course, the 4 screws, and you want to transfer over this SATA connector. But be very careful, because these cables tend to be fragile. So just make sure that when you're prying it out, you're just prying out the plastic piece and not putting any pressure on the connector here, or the cable. All right, so there's the hard drive. We're going to set that aside. Okay. Random piece of plastic, throw that away. All right, so I'm gonna see if I lift this cable up, if I can get that out of the way. Oops, I'm knocking over screws over here, so I need to be careful. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, let's try and peel this cable up. All right, I'm gonna try and pull it that way to keep the cable flat as I peel up the adhesive. Hopefully there's no other stuff on top. Okay, it doesn't look like it. So I'm peeling it that way as I peel it up. Wow, this adhesive is really strong. I hope this cable doesn't get damaged trying to peel this up. Okay. So this cable is very difficult to peel up. Okay, be careful for that, and there we go. Alright, so I got this cable up. I'm going to try and keep it out of the way. And now we're going to go ahead and try and get the fan back out. Let's zoom in again. Alright, I'm going to use these little things, this metal pry tool, to kind of help disengage these clips. Alright, there we go. So you can see the fan is moving out, but they do put all these stupid bumps in the way. So these screw mounts, I wish these could just be ripped out, but it doesn't look like that's going to be possible. And then of course they put this to like jam into this cable, so you don't have room for that either, I guess. This is a stupid design. Alright, well, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to try and get this back under. Let's do it this way. Okay. Might be better if I just bend this metal piece up. I don't know. Okay. Let's see if I can raise the fan enough that I can pull it out. It might be going out of camera view. Let me zoom out some more. Man, I do not want to completely remove that. Okay, let's try removing these screws here and see if I can move this plastic bracket back at all or anything. I doubt it. This screw doesn't move at all, so let me see if moving this bracket while I try and pull it helps. Nope. So they broke it in the worst way. I can't even remove this bracket. So that means even if I undo all these screws, there's no way I can raise this up to get this heatsink out. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do for this. I'm gonna try and lift it up, put more force on it, and uh-oh, I need to disable that. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully that stayed disabled. Anyways, I need to use the pry tool because that little circle thing is being annoying. There we go. Come on, fan. Disengage. Oh man, I think he just messaged me again. Okay, I might have to disable the notification again if it keeps beeping. So I'm trying to rotate this fan around. Let's see if I can move this cable slightly over. So there we go. Maybe I can kind of curve it a little so it's more flat that way. And jeez. Okay, let me pause that again. Okay, hopefully the notifications stop. Oh, nope. Okay, that person keeps sending messages. I don't know. Why are they sending me messages at 1 AM? I don't know. Alright, so this fan, I don't know. It doesn't want to pop out. I don't know if they put adhesive underneath as well. It did let me rotate it slightly outwards, but it doesn't go beyond that. And let's see, I can push this side. So let's see. This little circle piece, it won't budge. Okay, let me see. I'm going to try and get this shim to stay under there. And the main thing, I need to get this side to budge, but it doesn't want to. So, I don't know. It lets me slide it over completely that way, but it doesn't let me slide it further out this way. So, I don't know. I might have to completely somehow take it apart, even though it doesn't seem to be a way. So this fan doesn't want to come out. This little circle doesn't seem like that's what's holding it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it looks like I was able to rotate this fan out. I don't know what it's holding on to here. This circle, I don't know. Okay, maybe rotating it this far is enough. Let's see what I can do. I don't know what's holding on to it. Oh, I see, the screw mount. So I need to lift this even higher. There we go. Okay, so I pulled this further because there's the screw mount there, and it's in this part of the fan. So hopefully I'm going to be able to fix this fan. Usually we can pull these off, but actually doesn't look like we can. So I'm going to have to use my method to try and push it through, and we'll see if that's going to work. I'm going to use some screws or screwdrivers. So this one I can feel, it actually feels gross. This one spins, this fan spins smoothly, but this one, which is the GPU fan, I can feel it's rough. So I'm going to try and pop the fan off and then add some grease. So I need to move this out of the way. And if you guys have been watching my other videos, you've probably seen me do this before. But let's see here. So I'm going to need my magnet tray. This one will probably work. Okay, so we're going to take this magnet tray. And what we're going to do is we want to find screwdriver bits that will fit perfectly in here to help put pressure on the back of the fan. Okay, and we have to basically line it up perfectly. So let's see here, that one might be a little bit too big, but we'll try. Okay, so we're gonna use this. I wish I had something designed for this that's better, that I could just line it up and then pop it through. But I'm gonna have to look over through the top. Sorry if my head gets in the way. Well, you get the point. Let me try and do this. I'm probably gonna have to do this off camera because otherwise my head's just gonna be in the way. But let's see, I'm gonna put one here. Okay, and then we'll get one here. Actually, is there a way I can? No, I don't have a way to do this easier. So I'm gonna try and do it this way. Okay, let me pause the video and I'll be back. Okay, so I think I got all three lined up properly. Now what we're gonna do is try and apply even pressure straight down. Hopefully it's gonna stay lined up. Uh-oh, they're like falling over. So you wanna make sure that they stay lined up. Apply even pressure. Uh-oh. And this is gonna take some time. Hold on, I'll be back again. Actually, let me stay on camera trying to do this. I might have to just put this one upside down. We'll see. Okay. So let's see if we can do this. Keeps falling over. This is such a pain. Let me try using a smaller one for this side. I'll try this. Alright, so let's try and apply even pressure and push this through. Hopefully it's not going to break the motor. Oh, this one doesn't want to come through at all. So we're probably going to have to replace the fan. Let's see what underneath here looks like actually. It is plastic under here, so I could drill this one through because it doesn't seem like this propeller wants to pop off. Usually I would pull this off and add grease to it, but it looks like it doesn't want to come out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the drill method. Okay. And you will get to see that. Alright, So we're going to set this aside because this didn't work. And what we're going to do now, we're going to peel this sticker off. If you want, there's the fan model number here for this specific one. DFS 200 105200T. Okay, hopefully you can read that. I don't know if you can. All right, so we're going to peel this sticker off. And what we're going to do now, let me get my drill. Okay, and we're going to get some drill bits here. So what we're going to want to do is we have this plastic piece here. We're going to drill straight through that. We're going to have to be a little careful, but let's drill straight through that. Okay. Okay. And yeah, all right. So hopefully you'll be able to see this, but basically you want to drill straight through. I might want something underneath here because it's putting weird pressure. Let me just try and hold it in my hand because I want to put the pressure on the propeller blades. Okay, and then we're going to drill through this plastic piece here. And you want to be very careful. See, I didn't really drill much, and it actually already made it through to, you can see this white plastic piece here. So let me see here. I'm going to use a needle now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to check and make sure, okay, yes, it drilled all the way through. So here you can see it drilled through this plastic very, very easily. And as you can see, or maybe you can't, but let me zoom in more so you can see. Okay, as you can see here, if I push the needle, this little white layer that's underneath actually gets pushed in. And that's actually, I don't know what they would call it, but it allows for less friction. It's probably like a Teflon disc or something that the little, yeah, I don't know what you would call it. The rod of, or the shaft of this thing, it can spin around and not really get hampered. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take some Mobil 1. I just use synthetic oil. You can use any good bearing or whatever oil for bearings or anything like that, but I just use this. All right. And then what I do is I get the oil into this little hole that we drilled. Okay. Let me put something darker here so it's easier for you guys to see. Hopefully that will help. All right. So I just get the oil in there, as you can see, and then I kind of move that piece up and down. And I don't know if you can see, but the oil is getting sucked in. What you can do is from the other side, you can actually push and pull it just like this. Oops, let me zoom out so it's easier for you to see. All right, so I just grab the propellers and then I move this part up and down, and the oil kind of gets sucked into there. And if I spin it, I can feel it will get a little bit smoother. And I'm just going to keep adding oil until it's nice and smooth. All right, so we'll put a big drop in there. All right, and then we're going to pull this thing up and down to try and get the oil to go in. Okay, if it doesn't work, you might have to drill the hole bigger. So let's see here. I try not to drill the hole too big because I want that little white piece to stay in there. Okay, but yeah, if it's not getting grease inside, then you might have to do that. All right, because the grease slightly is having problems getting in there, so I might end up having to drill this hole bigger. Okay, yeah, I can feel it still feels a little weird. So I'm going to clean this off a little bit, and then I'm going to actually drill the hole a little bit bigger. Okay. The drill bits again. I'm going to get a larger drill bit this time. Okay. And you can also drill it slightly off center, so that way you can actually get the oil around the side of it. Okay. Alright, so that, oops, I might have drilled it too big. We'll see what happens. Alright. Clean off the drill bit. Okay. Let's see, I hope this is going to be repairable, because otherwise we're going to have to order one of these fans. And this is kind of a pain to work on, so you can see, let me actually move these little black plastic bits out of the way. You don't want those black plastic bits getting inside the bearing area, so make sure that you get them out like these, okay? Clean that up. So you can see now there's like this white piece is probably going to fall out. That's kind of what I want to avoid. I accidentally drilled the hole a tiny bit too big, but looks like it can push those plastic pieces back down. If anything, we might have to like create a little plug with something, but okay. So you can see now we have more access to there. Gonna grab a little more oil, put that in there. Grab some more. I'm gonna put a big drop on top. Alright. Alright, now hopefully when we pull this, you can see that the oil drop is moving up and down a lot more, and that should be sucking the oil into the bearing. And it does feel a lot smoother now. I'm gonna get some more oil here. Put another big drop on there. Alright, and again, grab that, wiggle it up and down. This will help basically like pumping the oil into the shaft and the bearing. Okay, if you want, you can get the needle and help push it around. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Help get the oil in. Okay. It's still a little rough, but it's a lot smoother than before. You can definitely tell it's a lot better than before. Okay, so if you want, you can keep kind of working more grease into there. Alright, let's see here. One more drop should do it. I'm going to have to clean up the excess after. Okay. Get that grease into there. Still feels a little bit like rough, so I don't know. That might just be the bearing, this kind of bearing. Alright, so I'm going to clean off the excess oil on the outside, and then we're going to try and patch this thing up. So what you do is get a paper towel or napkin, wipe that off, right? And then you want to take some isopropyl rubbing alcohol, get a clean napkin. Alright, so I'm going to get some isopropyl alcohol and put it on the napkin, just like that. And I'm going to use that to clean off the oil residue. Okay, so now we've got that. Okay, so that's cleaned up for the most part. I'm going to open this hole up a little bit and then put a little more grease inside. So here you can see I can actually push this, the white layer out of the way. And I don't know if you can see the silver dot underneath. That is the shaft of the fan. Okay, so I'm going to try and put some grease aimed at that part right under. So I'm going to get a little bit. Alright, we're going to try and get the grease right under there. Okay, let's get a little more. Put that under there. Alright, we want the grease to get into that shaft area. I'm going to get a bigger drop now. And let's try and get that into that area. Oops, sorry, I'm going off camera. Alright, so now if I were to move this shaft up and down, hopefully it will pull that oil in. Oh yeah, I can feel the thing is much smoother now. I'm going to get one more drop. Put it underneath there. Okay. If I can. Yep, get it under that. Oops, sorry, getting it under there. Somebody keeps texting me. Okay. This person doesn't want to let me sleep. Alright, so let's move this up and down. Get it to absorb all that grease. Okay. Now that we got that, we're going to use the needle to push that white protective layer back down, or the friction layer. Okay. And then I'm going to clean off all this oil. Alright. Okay, so we'll use the napkin, soak up all the excess that's floating on top. Okay. And then we're going to use the rubbing alcohol again to clean off that excess. And I'm going to actually want to take another piece of napkin. Okay. And get some more rubbing alcohol. You don't want the rubbing alcohol to be dripping, just on the paper towel. That's enough to basically wipe off all that excess grease. And then rub that around. Okay. You push this white layer back down. If you want, you can get something to fill up that little gap. Let's see here, what can I put in there? I'm going to actually just get some of this paper towel. Make like a tiny ball. Okay. And I'm going to use that to keep the pressure on this little piece. Probably made it too big, but just to shove it in that little gap. Yeah, that's too big, but we'll see. Alright, so okay. The fan is spinning a lot better. And now that we got this here, probably going to want to put more grease just so this thing doesn't absorb all the grease. Might want to get a plug that actually won't absorb the grease. So I'm going to remove that. Let me put a tiny bit of grease back in there. Okay, what did I do? Here we go. I'll probably just leave it open instead of trying to shove a thing to keep that down. So, put the grease right there. Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that. So, then what I'm going to do, we'll take a piece of tape. Okay, let me get a piece of tape here. Sorry, I moved the camera. Alright, so I'm just going to cut a piece of tape. Try and cut it to fit in that circle. Alright, so we're going to get a piece of tape and we're just going to cover up this circle area. Just like that, to keep the grease in place. Oops. What the heck? How did I get it over there? Okay, let me get another piece of tape, because I didn't do that right. Let me cut a new, better piece of tape. That one was kind of sliding around. just cutting the corners. I cut a square piece of tape and I'm cutting the corners off so it's more of a circle. And we'll just put this on top. Hopefully it's going to stay in place now. Okay, good. Then we can get this piece and put this back on top. Let's see, was there a certain way? Okay, it was this way. Alright, just like that. So now we got the fan reassembled. Hopefully that grease will be good enough that it won't be making noise like it did before. Okay. Alright, let's get the computer back. We're going to reassemble it. Okay. Alright. Uh-oh, did my thing freeze? Now I'm not going to know what I'm recording, am I? Okay, my screen sharing thing broke, so I can't really see what I'm recording. I'm going to try and make sure that I have it in frame. So I kind of zoomed out. Alright. Connection lost. Alright, so we're going to get this piece back in. Again, we do have to lift it kind of high because of that screw mount in there. Okay. So I'm going to see what I can do. Let's lift that up. Okay, get this piece under, get the fan underneath. Okay, it's probably going to be easier to put it back in than it was to take it out, but we'll find out. And be careful with the cable here, okay? Hopefully this is all getting in view. I don't know what it's getting caught on right now. There we go. Okay. Make sure to lift this up because it's getting caught there. There we go. Shove that over. Okay. It's mostly in. I need to slide this forward more. There we go. So it's a lot easier to put back than it is to take out, actually. Get all of those things lined up. Okay, and then what you want to do is, because we took this part out, we're going to want to secure this back down. So the way I do that is I just get some tape, right, and we just cut some tabs out of it. Let me get off this old junk tape so it doesn't get interfered with that. Okay, so just cut little tabs of tape. Alright, and where we cut these plastic tabs, make sure you push this metal piece down so it's secured. Put the piece of tape there and then wrap it over. Alright, and we're just going to do this around the whole fan. Okay, same thing here, push that down, wrap tape, wrap it over. Hopefully it's visible what I'm doing. I'm going to move this back over. Okay. And let's plug the fan back in. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Just get that connector in place and then squeeze both pieces. Alright. I'm going to cut a few more tabs here. Okay. This side, I don't know if I can really do it. I'm going to put the tape on the side first. I'm going to use this little tool to push the tape down. Okay, then we'll wrap it over the top there. And let's see, I'm going to cut this into 2 pieces. Alright. This side's a little weird, but let's see, I'll put the tape this way. And we'll wrap it over the top here. And one last piece this way and wrap it over the top there. Okay, so hopefully all these little pieces of tape will hold the thing in place. Now we're going to plug this little board back in. Okay, reconnect it. go. Put the latch back down. Peel up the adhesive to make sure that it's lined up right. Okay. Get that thing lined up properly, and then you can stick this back down. Okay, it's not really lined up right, I think, but well, I guess it was just like that. Okay, so you got that. Let's see here. So I'm gonna put this screw back here. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. I might have to, let's see. Oh, yeah, you can see. Okay. Put that screw in here. We had these really short screws holding this down. So usually when there's multiple screws holding a part down, as a rule, I like to loosely fit it first, get all the screws in, and then tighten it. Okay, just like that. This part is kind of weird. Hopefully it's not going to pull itself up. Let me peel this up again, and I'm going to actually slide it back some here. Okay, I don't know if that will help with anything, but there we go. And then we'll get the fan screws and we'll put these back in. Okay, just like that. This one piece of tape doesn't want to stick well. Okay. Alright, so now let's put back the hard drive. Make sure that latch is up. Guide the connector in. We can just put the hard drive back in place first and then guide this in. You can use the little blue tab, grab that. There we go. And then flip the latch back down. And let's see here, what was for what? Oh, I should have, okay, we got the hard drive screws here. Sorry if my head's getting in the way, I can't tell because I can't see what I'm recording right now. Okay. Get all these screws in. Alright, let's reconnect the battery here. So hold the battery up, slide the connector in, squeeze the two pieces together, just like that, and then drop the battery in place. Okay, nice. Put back the 4 battery screws, one here. Hopefully you can see everything. One here. One in this corner down here. Alright. Let's put back this plastic cover. I'm not sure what it does, but it was there, so I might as well put it back. Okay. And then for the cover, just like before, if you watched part 1, left side goes down first. Make sure the USB port and everything lines up. Drop it down. Alright, lift this up, open it up, and then squeeze these layers together. Clip all those things back in. And there we go. We just have to put back all the screws. And hopefully the noisy fan problem is resolved. Come on, there we go. Screws are so long. Okay. Okay. Alright, and that's all there is to it. So hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe. Help others find my videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!